That is the reason why now the whole world is adopting this white revolution, the milk. As you eat rice and wheat, in 15 to 20 minutes, there is a glucose spike. They have been doing research for the last 75 years, but not a single person is cured. The glucose spike, that means if you eat 3-4 idlis in the morning, South India, or North India, 2-3 parathas, your blood glucose levels increase up to 50 grams. Can we grow strawberry? So that means it is not our food. Eggs are artificially made, lot of steroids are there, antibiotics, approximately average 1.6 fertility rate. That means we are not able to produce kids. Yukta ahara viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu, yukta swapnavabodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Not going to doctor should be your objective.
Namaste everyone. I am Subiksha YL from grade 9 Ramanujan, studying in this prestigious institution of Kautilya Vidyalaya. Today we are going to explore the inspiring life and work of Dr. Khader Valli, who has dedicated his life towards promoting traditional millets and creating awareness about nutrition and sustainable living. Sir has been awarded the Padma Shri Award in the year 2023 by the Indian government. Sir, welcome to Kautilya Connect. We are extremely happy to have you here, sir. Thank you for giving your precious time and joining us here today.
Thank you for inviting me. Namaste everyone.
Sir, could you please tell us about your journey and what inspired you to dedicate your life towards millets and healthy food?
Yeah, way back in 1987, when I went first time to United States of America, we were asked to get a medical certificate to join the university. So I went to a hospital where I met a girl, which is a 6-year-old girl, gazing into the space in the reception hall. So I asked her mother what happened. She's menstruating, her bleeding is not stopping. So I was shocked. So that's when I started inquiring why young, small, 6-year-old girl, how could she menstruate? Because the natural menstruation cycle begins for women around 15 or 16 years. So there must be something wrong. I went into the doctor's office and then I asked him. He just casually said like this and said, that's how it is here. For me it was a big shock because there must be some hormonal imbalance. Otherwise, why a 6-year-old girl menstruates? So that's where my journey began, and I started inquiring about what they eat, how they eat, and immediately within 2-3 days I figured out that the white revolution that we were talking about, this is 1987 I'm talking about. So in America they were already doing IVF for the cows and bringing out huge amounts of milk with antibiotics and steroids, and kids who were drinking started having hormonal imbalance. So that is the reason why now the whole world is adopting this white revolution, the milk. Every human being is consuming the milk in large quantities, which has brought in hormonal imbalance in human race. And so it was obvious for me that the unnatural food companies are creating this imbalance. So I started inquiring into the grains that we were eating, rice and wheat. So that's when it hit me that what was the human race eating before, because all around the world everyone is eating rice and wheat. So I then realized that it is artificial, it is not natural. So the inquiry led to 240 grains that the human race was eating all around the world, and they were the millets. And that's how we recognize that food corporates have managed to eliminate the natural foods, and now the human race is living on unnatural foods. And since 30 years I have been trying to bring back the grains that we have lost. And while doing so, when we shift the people's food to the millets, you find almost all the modern day diseases getting reversed. So that's how I began my journey.
Thank you, sir. It was truly inspiring. Sir, what is the reason for you to recommend millets over refined wheat and polished rice? What makes millets so beneficial for health?
Absolutely. Millets, before we go further, let me just say what millets are. Milli means 1 by 1000 in French language. So millimeter, milligram, milliliter. So the grains of these grasses are approximately the size of millimeter. Either they are little bigger or little smaller. So the whole grains were grouped and called millets. So there are almost 240 grains that humans were consuming all across the globe. Right now we have managed to bring back approximately 10 grains now. People can happily eat. We have tested and got very good scientific results. So millets are called C4 grasses, whereas rice and wheat are called C3 grasses. This C4 and C3 refers to the photosynthesis pattern that they use. So rice and wheat prepare glucose, rather biosynthesize glucose from pyruvic acid, which is called C3 unit, whereas millets synthesize glucose from 4 carbon unit called oxaloacetic acid. So this is called C4 photosynthesis, this is called C3 photosynthesis. But C3 to C4, from C3 unit to C4 unit, if you give more water and more fertilizers, you can increase the yield. And that's how the food corporates, I should not say food corporates because way back then it was not a food corporate. After the Second World War, there were a lot of bomb material left out. The war stopped suddenly because America used atomic bomb. But both sides actually piled up lot of bomb material to fight for some more time. But then because of atomic bomb on Japan, the war all at a sudden stopped. But both sides had piles of this bomb material. So they just converted that to fertilizers, and then C3 grasses, rice and wheat became a easy target, and they increased the yields of production of rice and wheat. That's possible because of C3 photosynthesis amenable for this. Whereas C4 photosynthesis, the millets, they are called C4 grasses. Actually, there are 6,000 varieties of C4 grasses, out of which we could actually consume 240 varieties of these grains. So why am I talking like this is because C3 grasses, while making the grain, does not have the capacity to intertwine the fiber, whereas C4 grasses, because they do not bother to have water or more water, less water, they absorb the humidity in the atmosphere. They don't need water from the roots. They can absorb and make the grain C4 to C6 with beautiful fiber being intertwined with the carbohydrate. So, ultimately the difference is the rice and wheat do not have fiber associated with it, whereas millets have fiber associated with the grain formation, and this is the essential difference, and that is the main characteristic which helps us to reverse almost all diseases of humankind, because the glucose enters your bloodstream slowly and steadily due to the presence of fiber, whereas in rice and wheat, as you eat rice and wheat, in 15 to 20 minutes there is a glucose spike in your bloodstream, and that's the difference.
Sir, nowadays childhood obesity, diabetes and lifestyle diseases are increasing among young people. So, what are the lifestyle changes that are the reason behind all these causes?
It's not the human race fault, it is these food corporates who have made the millets disappear. Step by step, over a period of 40-50 years, these experts of green revolution said, oh, those are coarse grains, C-O-A-R-S-E, coarse grains. That means grains associated with fiber. It is animal food, it is bird feed. These are the exact words they used. So, all over the world, people were eating these grains, and all of a sudden, these experts came up and said that you should not use, this is the premium food, rice and wheat. So, they subsidized the fertilizers initially all over the world, and then now they started selling. So, the fundamental shift from the naturally growing millet food, we put rice and wheat in the plates of every human being. So, now what happened? The glucose spike, that means if you eat 3-4 idlis in the morning in South India or North India 2-3 parathas, your blood glucose levels increase up to 50 grams. How much it should be? 5 grams. So, 10 times more. So, the excess glucose has to be dealt with. So, it converts it into cholesterol, triglycerides, glycogen, fat, obesity, BP, diabetes. All these diseases slow and steadily came to human race. Earlier it used to happen at the age of 50, 60, but now we have kids, 10-year-old diabetic patients, more than 3 or 4% type 1 diabetes. So, we are told they are doing research on doing something about the diseases. They have been doing research for the last 75 years, but not a single person is cured. They have been handing over tablet after tablet. No one is cured. So, the experts name them as chronic diseases and then continue to give medicines. So, now you see sabotaging the food, creating diseases, and then creating another big industry called pharmaceuticals. So, you are made to get the disease and then you are made to go to the hospital. They continue to hand over the. So, the simple lifestyle change that I suggest is just remove rice and wheat, sugar from your plates, and I guarantee no disease will come to you.
Sir, we as children and adults all love junk food, packed snacks and soft drinks. So, what advice would you like to give us to make healthier choices rather than making us feel deprived?
Oh, your question is very loaded. So, the word deprived means you are addicted to it. Am I right? Junk food is, it's really not junk. It is made of rice, wheat, sugar and some chemicals while you are growing them or preparing the food in the industrial level, in a large scale. So, machines come in and then you have to put it in the shelf for 3 months, 4 months, because you have to sell them till all the transportation, all this. So, there is no junk food in the world. It's all made out of rice, wheat and sugar. So, you are all being misled saying that you are eating junk food, this, that and all that. But you are eating only rice, wheat, sugar and processed, refined stuff. So, that is what the industry calls junk food. But you are eating junk food outside, you are eating what you are eating in the inside house is also junk food. If it is made out of rice, wheat and sugar and milk, you are in trouble, because that is what is causing the diseases. Because we have disturbed hormonal balance, we have disturbed glucose balance. And these two parameters are very, very important for us not to have one more imbalance called microbial balance. So, our celiac region after stomach harbors microbiome, which actually symbiotically lives in our body, helps us to do lot of good things. So, we are not only creating hormonal balance, glucose balance. Due to these two being deranged, we are deranging the microbial balance too. So, 1, 2, 3. Gone wrong, all diseases flourish, including communicable diseases, because it is the gut microbiome which helps you to maintain the immunity. So, that is how you saw so-called Corona 19 or whatever, So, we are now paving way for non-communicable diseases and communicable diseases by choosing rice, wheat, sugar as our staple food. And this is the problem. And we are misled by saying this is junk food, you have to eat this, that, all that is corporate, what do I, not magic, corporate mayajal. So, what do you do now if you want to be healthy?
So, switch to millets and
Absolutely, absolutely. That is the way life will be easier for everyone. And as we already discussed, rice and wheat require a lot of water. To prepare 1 kilogram of rice, rather to produce 1 kilogram of rice, you need 8,000 liters of water. Same 8,000 liters of water, I can produce approximately 35 kilos of millets, because they do not require that much water. Just rainy season we can grow. No dams are required, no electricity is required, no pumping water is required, no fertilizer is required, no pesticides are required, and you can grow these millets everywhere and anywhere. 10 degrees centigrade you can grow, 50 degrees centigrade also you can grow. So, now you see we have peculiar problem. India does not have fertilizers, India does not have rain now. So, in fact, our Honorable Chief Minister said, do not sow anything this year. If it is millets, I do not care. 4 rains are enough, I can sow them any time, I can grow our food.
Sir, if you had a chance to design a daily diet for school students, how would breakfast, lunch, snacks and dinner look like?
Everything will look like the same. You can eat pani puri, no problem, I do not call it junk food. If you make it with millet flour, it becomes healthy food. You can eat pizza if you want to, it is only a name. If you are making with maida, it is not even junk food, it is poisonous food. So, if you make it with millet flour, you can happily eat. And if you replace the cheese that you have made out of dairy with vegetarian milk and vegetarian cheese, you are good to go. So, for me it is the millets, the staple grain And we have right now 10 grains that are actually easily available now in our India, especially South India, because we have been creating awareness and distributing seeds to the farmers, barren land farmers, no water is required. So we are growing a lot of these grains. So whether it is school kids or college kids or at home, you can have whatever names that you have. Idli, dosa in South India, go to North India, they make paratha, samosa. It hardly matters. The material, staple food has to be made with flour or grain which has this wonderful structural arrangement, does not release glucose as a flood, releases in a controlled, regulated fashion, so that your homeostasis of the blood, that is glucose in your 5 liters of blood, never ever goes beyond 1 gram per liter. That is total 5 grams of 5 liters of your blood. As long as we maintain this, there is no health issue at all. So please eat whatever way you want. You can make puri, you can make idli, dosa. So there is no strict rule there. Only calling is millets. Remove rice and wheat, put millets, make everything very tasty food, and you are good to go. What happens? You will not see a doctor for your life.
Sir, besides food, what is that daily habit that students should develop to improve their physical health, mental well-being, memory and concentration?
Only one thing, Surya Namaskara. Get up before sunrise, half an hour before, finish your ablutions, be ready looking at the horizon in the east direction. As the sun seems to come up, we are actually rotating, so it looks like sun is rising. It's we call sunrise time. So say 6 a.m. you be outside at 5:45, and then make a good habit of doing Surya Namaskara. There are 12 postural changes. It's called Surya Namaskara. If you can hold each time 1 minute Surya Namaskara, 7 Surya Namaskaras, the sun switches on all your internal endocrine systems on a daily basis, which then has the supervising capacity of thousands of biochemical processes that are balanced. So if at all I am asked to tell one thing other than eating millets, the best habit is to get up before sunrise. As you grow old, you can get up 1 hour before and then do some pranayama and all that. I am not asking the kids to do all that. Just get up, do Surya Namaskara, 7 number is good enough, and just run around for 10-15 minutes when the sun, beautiful Bhaskara, the Prajwala, the white sun. Before that you have orange color, then the red, Aruna, Arka, like that. So there are different vibrations, rather frequencies of the light that transit. That is very important for your skin, eyes and internal organs to function in a balanced way. So this is connected to our health, and that's how our ancestors have propounded this practice of Surya Namaskara. So he is the energy, he is the life on earth, because it is the sunlight that is converted to a grain or whatever, glucose, any plant kingdom. That's what the leaves do. So the living energy is our sun. It is of course burning globe, but this is the beauty of the plant material, photosynthesis. So energy in the form of frequency, photons, and in the form of glucose. And this the glucose we burn to make ATP, a biological battery through which living functions are conducted.
Sir, these days there are many myths about nutrition and health on social media. How can students and parents identify reliable health information on social media?
One thing you can do is check it out yourself. So follow it for few days and decide whether it is good or bad for you. One advice I can give you is that social media is controlled by the people who are selling products. So obviously they would say their product is good. So first thing is you need to learn the science behind food, and I think I have simplified. If your microbial balance, hormonal balance and glucose balance. So ask this simple question: what I am eating, does it maintain microbial balance, hormonal balance, glucose balance? If all these three questions are ticked right, then you can eat that food. And I will go ahead and give you one more clue, is that if your food doesn't have fiber, then obviously it is bad for you. So if it has internal fiber, it is obviously very good for you. So that's how millets have been the food for thousands and thousands of years. As the food corporates manage to bring in their patented seeds and all these things, so of late there is a trend. Nuts are good for you: Brazil nut, walnut, cashew nut, all this. So they are all grown in large quantities in California. So these companies with their deep pockets start advertising. So there will be social media, podcasts, all these things keep confused the kids, of course, obviously, and the parents have to be well educated as far as the food and nutrition is concerned. And there has been a misleading content developed saying that you need protein, you need this, you need that, and obviously all over the world you cannot get the same food. So God has given you local seeds, local foods. So first thing you want to notice very clearly is it local? Can we grow wheat in South India? We cannot. Only in very cold areas we grow. So that means that's not our food. Can we grow strawberry? So that means it is not our food. So if I go to England, I can eat strawberry. But being in India, in South India, I cannot say strawberry is good for me. So what can I grow in South India? Guava fruit grows everywhere, and it is actually 1,000 times better than strawberry. So you cannot say avocado is good for me. We cannot grow avocado that easily, isn't it? So the supplementing fruits, vegetables, greens, all should be locally grown. You cannot be saying that it is grown in Bangalore in a greenhouse with Israeli technology, broccoli is good for me. Absolutely not. Broccoli is not good for you. Maybe it is good in Israel, someone grows there. And broccoli is, of course, not even natural. It's a concocted vegetable from cauliflower. So you can happily grow cauliflower at top of your terrace and then eat. That's 1,000 times better than your broccoli. Just like guava is 1,000 times better than apple for you. You cannot grow apple here. So this is the local production of food materials, that also eliminates the transportation, that also eliminates the carbon dioxide released during the transportation. So, local food production, local preparations, local utilization. So, these are the three fundamental principles for your food to be nutritious. So, I would advise you to eat guava fruit rather than apple. ಸೇಬುಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಸೀಬೆ ಲೇಸು. For us, now I go to Himachal Pradesh, apple grows very well. Then for them, apple is good. For us, guava is good.
Sir, what role do parents and schools play in helping children develop a healthy eating habit from an early age?
Yeah. First, of course, I give more responsibility for the parents, and of course, as the kids grow up, it is the schools that should take the responsibility, because many parents are not educated, especially in India. Many village, they are absolutely unaware of lot of issues like this. So schools can guide their parents, I mean the kids' parents, through parents teachers association, and of course good nutritional charts of local foods presented in the school atmosphere, and they should put the photos and posters so that the kids keep going through the halls, get into their brains every day, and we should spend more time for nutrition and wellness. Instead of talking about diseases, the habits that you develop through the school curriculum itself has to be introduced. So I would rather teach as a whole in a period of 3 months, at least 2 to 3 classes based on the grades of the kids, like 1st to 5th standard. So a simple lessons of what not to eat, what to eat, all these exercises would certainly help. And I think schools should be taking the responsibility of educating the parents in no uncertain terms. That means certainly you should do this, you should not do this. It should be the school's responsibility going into the future. But presently, absolutely nothing is done about that, because we are all just in the hands of food corporates. Like they are saying protein is now good, give eggs. Eggs are artificially made, lot of steroids are there, antibiotics, absolute mayhem. It's creating imbalance in the kidney, and CKD patients are. So we are not questioning. We are not questioning. So I believe schools and administration of the school should step in and fill this knowledge gap. We have knowledge gap. So we are all, not only schools, everyone is eating what the corporates have decided. I could also mention passing comments on oils. See, we were actually making oils through bull driven, slow and steadily we used to apply pressure. Now we are using refined oils. Everything machines, high RPM, heat generated, and many of the oils actually change their biochemistry in high pressure and high heat. So we have completely spoiled the natural oils. So like Niger seed oil, groundnut oil, coconut oil, they are so good for us when kids are growing up, and when the old age comes, it is the oils that can keep your sanity properly. So we have lost all this information and knowledge. So we need to do our independent research rather than following the Western thought process and Western science, which according to me as a whole block is more of corporate science rather than true science. So We, schools, colleges and universities have to start doing independent research on food and local food materials, and at the end of this search, which I have been in the last 30-40 years, I have figured out our ancestors have said it in one sentence. The good food is fruits, vegetables and greens, tubers and grains that have fiber. So, Kannadadalli ಎಲೆ ಸೊಪ್ಪು, ಕಂದಮೂಲ, ದವಸ ಧಾನ್ಯ. All this is already well laid out in our ancestral knowledge. We just need to do some research and confirm what they have said so that it will be guiding light for future generations.
Sir, looking ahead, what changes would you like to see in India's food culture and school education regarding nutrition and healthy living?
Yeah, schools, the way they are now, have no room to teach this. In the olden days, the kids used to grow the fruits, the grasses in Gurukulas. So, leave alone growing, and we are not cooking at home also nowadays. Bengaluru now orders Zomato, Swiggy, 1.2 crores orders. So, it's been totally outsourced. It is cyber cafes somewhere in big cold rooms. They have made food 10 days ago. When you order, they will heat and then bringing and giving you. And I have seen this in Bangalore colleges, the grounds, people are ordering, they are eating food from the plastic. All this absolute nonsense is going on. So, schools, colleges, universities have to start thinking about it. Of course, our governments, the policy makers, have to have brainstorming sessions about our future health. The way we are doing, we are producing more sick people. And sadly, if I were to mention the statistics of fertility rates, we are following the Western countries. Now we are reaching approximately average 1.6 fertility rate. That means we are not able to produce kids. If you have 2.2 and above, we can have our country going into future after 15-20 years. So, because we are following the Western food culture, we are becoming like that. So, high time the governments, the schools, the colleges look at this as an emergency situation actually. And I am glad you asked, what can we do? We need to change our food from artificially produced industrial food to natural food production, and as far as possible without fertilizers and pesticides. And the staple food that suits this bill is millets. So, I really thank you for asking that question, because this has been my life's suggestion, and for future generations, if at all there is a message that I can pass on, eat millets, grow millets, be healthy.
Sir, so finally, what is the message that you would love to share with students, parents, teachers and viewers of Kautilya Connect?
I think I have already stated that. Yeah, we need to take health into our hands. You cannot say, I will go to hospital, take a BP tablet lifelong and you are healthy. You are not. Not going to doctor should be your objective. That means never ever fall sick. So, we all should shift our attention to being healthy rather than being sick. So, wellness has to be taught. Wellness has to be understood, not illness. So, let's shift from illness to wellness. So, there should be research knowledge generation, content should be passed on to future generations, how to be healthy rather than how to manage our life or how to manage illness. So let's move from being ill to being well, and that can be done if your staple food is fibrous, and that is millets. And at the end I want to mention one sloka from Bhagavad Gita. Yukta ahara viharasya yukta chestasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkhaha. So with right food, right thought process, right sleep, plus yoga, as I mentioned you, Surya Namaskar and associated, we are good to go. You can eliminate illness and dukkha totally from your life.
Sir, thank you so much for being here today. We really thank you for sharing the valuable information and your imparting knowledge with us. It is indeed our pleasure to have you here, sir. Thank you for sharing your precious time and being with us today. Thank you, sir.
Have you noticed there is Venkateshwara behind us?
Yes, sir.
So let's just say Govinda once and then end our session. Jai Govinda.